All right. Good morning. Merry Christmas to those of you celebrating the Christmas holiday today. Let me go ahead and click my go live on Instagram. And Instagram, if for some reason it doesn't come through, just come on and watch me on YouTube. Right? But good morning. I know it's Christmas and I'm on here because this is every day. Okay. Until at least January 20 something, but then I'll extend it a few extra days, most likely just in the Facebook group. All right, so let me show you what's going on today because it's Christmas and I came on. So shout out to my line sisters, my sorority, because we had to do this photo shoot. Well, we didn't have to, but one of them wanted to do a photo shoot one year of us dressed in ugly Christmas stuff. So I have this, I got these earrings, and let me show you what happened to the dress. So here's the dress, right? You see the dress? This broke this morning. It's supposed to look like this, y'all. It's supposed to look like that. But it broke. So now it's a off the shoulder. And let me see if I can this is my festive Christmas gear for you all today. See this? See that? Okay, so it's an off the shoulder dress today. Good morning. Thank you. All right, so I'm definitely gonna try not to stay on here too long because I've noticed that my things are getting longer and longer as I'm doing more teaching, and I'm trying to actually keep this short. So, welcome. If you don't know who I am, my name is Debbie Maisha, and I am the Sensual Energy Alchemist. I am a master life coach, sacred sexuality teacher, and guide, and my work centers around reconnecting Black women to their freedom, their sovereignty, and their power through their sensuality and pleasure. Why? Because we are the blueprint. And it's so important that as the blueprint, we really get back to who we are so that the world can write itself. Write and write itself. And we've been focusing on the Abundance book by John Randall Price, 40 Days of Abundance, the 40-Day Prosperity Plan. I feel like these things are right up under me. And today we're on day 5. So Merry Christmas to those of you who are celebrating Christmas. Today is day 5. I said yesterday, day 5 and 8 are two of my favorite statements. Day 5 was one of the most challenging statements for me to really get into and to really let it sink into my body. And if you don't have the book, it's okay. I'm going to read it. Also, I want to say this. If you're behind, if you okay, if you're behind, if you for some reason have fallen off, please come continue to watch the live streams. Don't disconnect because we'll do that. Oh, I fell off. Oh, I fell behind. Don't disconnect yourself from the process because you're not on task. Stay connected into the community. Stay connected into what's going on. That's how you keep your momentum. Okay, you have to stay into what's going on. So if you're in the Facebook group, don't like shrink and go, "Oh, it's too late. Oh, I'm further behind." Don't don't worry about it. Stay connected, stay grounded by coming on to the live streams, by still participating. Um, I just wanted to say that. Okay. All right. So day 5. Money is not my supply. No person, place, or condition is my supply. My awareness, understanding, and knowledge of the all providing activity of the divine mind within me is my supply. My consciousness of this truth is unlimited. Therefore, my supply is unlimited. I'm going to read it again. Money is not my supply. No person, place, or condition is my supply. My awareness, understanding, and knowledge of the all providing activity of the divine mind within me is my supply. My consciousness of this truth is unlimited. Therefore, my supply is unlimited. Now listen, let me tell you something. When I first did this and I read this, I was like, what kind of What do you mean? Money's not my supply. How am I supposed to pay my rent? What does that mean? How am I buying food? Of course, money is my supply. How am I living without, like, what? No person, place, or condition? What? I mean, my job is place. I like it took me forever, not forever, because that's a very mighty long time as princess. It took me a while. Like when I first did this, the first 40 days, by the time I finished the 40 days, this statement five didn't really land for me. I think it was after I did this process the third time. The third time. So 40 days once, 40 days twice, 40 days a third time. And let me be clear, 40 days once and twice, I had to start over again 2 and 3 times. Right? I did not go straight through this like some masterclass student. But by the third time, I got it. Money is not your supply. Money is the tangible, visible outcome of the divine mind within you. Abundance is the tangible, visible outcome of divine mind within you. Now, let me see how I want to say this, because and I need to really feel into the message and make sure I'm using words carefully. There is kind of like this school of thought, or this idea that if you're not creating abundance or wealth, there's something wrong with you. Or, well, how would this work for a starving child in another country? Kind of thing. Don't they deserve dot dot dot? And there can be a tendency to conflate all of this together. What's true is that we don't know why we are each born in places we're born in, or why things have to necessarily operate the way they do. We think we know. It's the evil corporations, it's the wealthy people who don't give enough money, it's all of these things. And each one of us, as an extension of source energy, comes into this world with our part to play. I don't know why someone else is living in a condition that they are living in. What I do know is that if I tap into my abundant frequency, because I live in a place where I have that privilege to do so. It might be different if I was a woman in Sudan, in Congo. It might be different for me, but I'm not there. I'm here where I face my own oppression, my own systemic issues, but I still have the privilege to create something. And in doing so, it may be part of my role to create something that might assist someone else, someplace else, who does not have access to the same resources that I do. The answer isn't for me to not create. The answer isn't for me to stifle my gift because someone else doesn't have one, because now none of us have anything. Does this make sense? Because I think sometimes the way we think of abundance, we naturally go to wealth and money, and then we go to corruption and all the other things. And if, we're reading the statements, it's like, oh, so easy for you to say the divine mind is your supply, but what about? I can't answer that question. What about the other people someplace else? I cannot answer that question. I don't know. But what I do know is that I have the opportunity to allow that ever present divine mind, which they also have access to spiritually. I have the opportunity to perhaps create something, right? So it's not that Oprah's one of my favorite people, but here's an example because it made such big news and headlines. Oprah has a lot of money. We all know that. She decided to open up some schools for girls, right? So that they could go to school because in many villages, if it's first of all, school isn't free. Okay, colonization is still a thing. Schools are not necessarily free in different countries in Africa. And if given the choice, parents will often send their boys to be educated as opposed to the girls. And so Oprah opened up schools for girls, a school for girls to go to so that they could be educated. That is an example of someone taking, y'all might be mad at her right now, but look, that is an example of someone taking their gift of divine mind, whether you agree with it or not, and then utilizing that to assist someone who may not be in the same position. So the answer to the what about other people is build something to assist them. If you're able to watch this live stream, if you're able to follow along with this and you feel like, but what about the other people? Then allow the divine mind, this rich omnipresent substance of the universe that is individualized as you, allow that to flow through you so that you can create something to assist the others. Maybe that is why you're here. Maybe that is your role. So I just want to say that and put that out there. Okay. So back to us who have the ways and means and a different set of stressors, and we're not possibly, maybe, I don't know, you could be. I had internet and I was like in starvation mode. But let's get back to the statement. Money is not my supply. No person, place, or condition is my supply. My awareness, understanding, and knowledge of the all providing activity of the divine mind within me is my supply. My consciousness of this truth is unlimited. Therefore, my supply is unlimited. So I just want to go back to statement 2 and 3 really quick. In statement 2, we said we're basically, I lift up my mind and heart to be aware, to understand, and to know that the divine presence I am is the source and substance of all my good. So again, if we agree that the divine substance is the source, and in statement 3, we say, I am conscious of the inner presence as my lavish abundance. And in statement 4, we say this substance is my supply. Thus, my consciousness of this presence within me is my supply. And we get to statement 5. My awareness, understanding, and knowledge of all of that, of knowing all of that, is that's my supply. My consciousness of that is unlimited. Your consciousness and understanding of the fact that the supply lives within you is unlimited. Therefore, your supply is unlimited. So I want to see what I wanted to, I put it in the title and I forgot. I want to talk about our fear of creation. I saw these great clips on Instagram, and I posted them on both my Devi Maisha page and also Sensual Energy Alchemy, my business page. And it was about creation being an act of rebellion. It was about, it's kind of similar to what I was just talking about. It was about fighting against systems. If you live in the West, or you live in the United States, or in Western culture, we have been groomed to live in a state of war, where we're always fighting against something. When you're fighting against something, your energy is not free to create. There was so much innovation stolen, obviously, let's be clear. So much innovation that happened during a time when this country was at peace, technology. Lots happened after World War II, right? When there was peace. When we have peace in our mind, it allows for ideas to flow through that otherwise would not have come in if we were stressed. And when those ideas come through, and I talked a little bit about this yesterday, with the, oh, if you're a great resume writer, that could be a way that ends up translating into cash. If you're great with small children and you decide to babysit, open up a daycare center, that translates into cash. It wasn't the cash that was the supply. It was the idea that came through you, that came through the divine mind. That was the supply. And it translated into a tangible outcome. I'm going to get into the fear of creation in a minute, but I really need us to look at money as a currency and as a frequency. I don't want you to think about, but what about the people who get this, and what about, we're not concerning ourselves with whataboutisms. I want you to think of your particular life. And the reason why we talked about the money stories and money trauma, how do you, what frequency are you living in when it comes to money and allowing it to flow? I said the other day, the statement I have, how much of God can you allow to flow through you? So if you're looking at money as a currency, a frequency, there's a way in which you might be shutting it off without realizing it. One of the ways in which you might be shutting it off without realizing it is the fear of your own power of creation. So let me speak directly to my melanated people, and if this jives with you, if you're not, then that's beautiful, and I'm glad it does. But I'm going to speak directly to descendants of those who were involved in chattel slavery. Between colonialism in the Caribbean, the horrific torture that we've been throughout the diaspora, our bodies being utilized as a commodity, as trade, us being the object that was sold, there is a very warped sense in our mind when it comes to the frequency and the currency of wealth, understandably so. There is also embedded in many of us a fear of our power, because to be too powerful could literally mean your death. That's just a truth. It could mean your death. In order for us to survive, it was best for us to fly under the radar, stay small, or if you did kind of eke it up, make sure that you did it in a way that the ruling class didn't feel threatened by you. So you're walking two lines here. Let me succeed, but not seem threatening at the same time. But that also stunts our creativity. And for some of us, there's a fear of that power. What if you could sit in meditation, and we haven't gotten to meditation yet because we're still dealing with the mind stuff. What if you could sit in meditation for 30 days, connect with source energy? What might start to flow through you? What if you could write down exactly how you'd like your life to look like and create that? What if you had that in you through this divine mind? For some of us, that's frightening. It feels like too much. Some of us have been taught that our power lies outside of ourself in a God that exists elsewhere, and that we can't even touch that God unless we go through an intercessor. We don't even, that we are so sinful, we don't even have access to that. We have to go through someone else because we're split off and separate from. That is not my personal view, and I'm not here to encourage you to, well, I'm not here to make you view it the way I am. I am here to encourage you to think a little differently. What if you had a what in the first statement would kind of debunk that, right? The first statement, God is lavish, unfailing abundance, the rich, omnipresent substance of the universe. This all providing source of infinite prosperity is individualized as me, the reality of me. So I now wait, I I can't be, if I believe that statement to be true, how can I be disconnected from that source energy? Now, what I will say is that fear, shame, anger, ego separates us from that. The idea that my abundance can only come in these forms that I deem acceptable separates us from that. The idea that I am not taken care of by the universe separates us from that. And so if the idea of a middleman like a Yeshua or a Muhammad or a Moses, if the idea of a middleman is to show us the way to reconnect to that source, I'm right here with you. How do I reconnect? Because I've forgotten, I've cut myself off. Because when I am attached to that source, my abundance is unlimited. But if I have a fear of the power of that creation, I will halt it. And when we get into working with the body, we'll talk more about that. But I just wanted to bring that up because it's real for some of us. It's like, yeah, the divine flows through me. Yes, money is not my supply. All right. And then it's like, oh, but that means that I'm sovereign and I could be really responsible here and I could really make it work. And these fears come up that we don't know where they're coming from. And some of it is epigenetics. Some of it is because we are descendants of people who have gone through horrific things. Does that mean that we don't move forward? Hell no. It just means that we understand why the fear is there. If it seems so illogical to us. And then we lean even more into that trust that we talked about yesterday. This is why the trust is so important. Feel the fear, but do it anyway. False evidence appearing real, whatever you need to help you understand it. Because it's not the money that's your supply. It's easy to think that because it's what you can see. But this is all about understanding what you cannot see and having faith and trust in the fact that God indeed does have your back, even if your refrigerator looks empty, even if your bills look larger than what's in your bank account. That's what it looks like on the surface. So here's an example of what creation might look like in ways that we don't like it to. Because I talked about, what do you got, gifts and you can make some money and build a side hustle. And we're kind of comfortable with that idea. Like, yeah, I could do that. Here's an example of what being in creation mode looks like in a way that might have you go, I don't want that. Scenario one, you are living in a home that you can no longer afford and you need to sell it. And you can use those proceeds to get yourself a smaller apartment that's not as showy while you work on whatever your next steps are. Scenario number two, You are working on building businesses, but you still need to have an actual job. Hi, I have an actual job. So really, I'm gonna tell you a story real quick after that. Um, Scenario three, you are really having a tough time with making ends meet, and so you need to apply for government assistance. You've worked, you've put into the system, or even if you hadn't, you need to apply for government assistance. You need the TANF, you need the welfare, whatever you want to call it. You need the food stamps, you need the WIC checks. This is what you need right now. This is the way the abundance shows up in your life. What if it's those scenarios? Can you still trust? Or is it, I don't like it because it makes me feel some kind of way? So that's why when we're looking at abundance, we need to take our minds off of money, off of cash, because it comes in different ways. So I'm gonna get back to this. I'm gonna read the statement, and then y'all are gonna get on with your Merry Christmases. Um, I have had the business Sensual Energy Alchemy for 7 years. Some years it made some money, some years it made no money. That's how business works. Okay, when you look at people who are making all this money, the amount of work that goes behind the scenes is incredulous. Let me just tell you that. You don't see all the moving pieces. I left my job in 2021 because I knew that I had to. I just knew it was time. I'd been there almost 4 years, the longest I've ever worked for anyone. I don't do well working for other people, full time. I left the job. I had no safety net in place, really. My business was doing okay. It covered all of my bills, and I was like, "I'm just gonna grow from here." The business covered everything that I needed. 2022 hit, and one by one, things fell off. I had clients that finished out their sessions with me. I didn't have more clients coming in. Uh, Contract work that I've been doing, all of a sudden, it dried up. It's just like I use this analogy, if you've ever seen Toy Story, when Buzz Lightyear gets up on the top of the stairs in the very first one, and he's like, "No, I can fly." He puts his wings out and he dives off. That was me leaving my job. And 2022 was my very slow descent into no cash, nothing. There was one point in time when I had some friends send me money in September, October to help me buy food. That's where it got. And so I went to look for a job. I didn't stop the dream of the business. Clearly, here I am in front of you. I went to look for a job. A couple of things happened. I said, I need to take time off. I need to get me right. There's some disconnect here. I may lose traction. I may lose opportunities. I turned down some paid opportunities. I needed to abstain from whatever it was I thought I was doing in order to get me settled. Did this during that time, okay? For there was a year that I took off. I wanted a job that allowed me the ability to earn some extra money, some not extra money, some money, and was flexible so that I could continue to work this. I knew I could not do Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, 360 days a year, whatever it was. Like that was not going to work for me. So there was a particular company that I was like, this is the job that I want. I was very super clear that this was where I wanted to work. I could work anywhere in the country if I so desired to, if I moved. This was flexible. This was seasonal. I would still be able to do what I'm doing and supplement my income. And that is the job that I got. And now this is year 2, because why would I give that up right now? So a lot of people, and this is why I say ego gets in the way. A lot of people want to be like, I'm an entrepreneur. But I still work like 2 part-time jobs or something, but they don't want you to know that. No, why would I give this up right now? It's short, it's seasonal, it's some money that comes in. Plus, work my businesses? Like, why would I spit in the face of that abundance because it doesn't look like, because I want to be someone who says, no, I completely work for myself and that's all my money. So people can go, wow, that's amazing. How do you do that? Hell no. Give me all of my abundance in all of the ways and forms that it's going to come in. So I want you to know that there, if at some point, and I did at some point, sit in the welfare office and take a photo for that freaking card, and I cried because it was 2016, 2015. I had nothing and my children needed to eat, and so I had to apply for welfare. And I was like, I have hit all the way at the bottom. Oh no, the bottom was coming back again in 2022. Okay. So I'm saying all this to say that it doesn't always look like what you want it to. But can you trust? We talked about that yesterday. Can you trust this infinite divine mind that runs through you? Can you trust the plan? Do you have a plan? We'll need to get into wants, needs, and desires as well. Money is not my supply. Statement 5. Money is not my supply. No person, place, or condition is my supply. My awareness, understanding, and knowledge of the all providing activity of the divine mind within me is my supply. My consciousness of this truth is unlimited. Therefore, my supply is unlimited. If at the end of this, or towards the end of this, and I will do this, by the way, I said to you, I have a membership group, which I do, but the doors aren't open yet. And we work on, this is how I operate. You've been with me now for 25 days, so forth and so on. And you said, yes, I'm coming in. Did money do that? Will I look at that and go, money supplied me? No, it was the inkling that I had to do this, to do it again, to do it across all social media platforms, to come on here every day, to show up, to allow this divine presence to flow through me, to be here at 9 o'clock or 9-ish, even on Christmas Day. It was all of that that did it. Money was not my supply. I ain't making no money doing this. I'm showing up in service of the idea that was given to me through this creative life force energy that flows through me. I am showing up for that. So the question for you to journal on is, how can you show up, and in what ways can you show up that allows this infinite mind of prosperity to flow through you? Do not think about how to make money off of it. Do not do that, because then your ego will come in. But for right now, what does it look like? And I asked this question before, what would it look like for the divine to express itself through you? You are as unique as your fingerprint. Please understand that. There's no one on this planet like you, because there's no one who has your fingerprint. Billions of people, no one has your fingerprint. So even if you're thinking, well, I want to show up as this, but I see 5 other people showing up that way, I don't give a shit. They can't show up as you. So how can you allow this creative life force energy to flow through you? That's all I want you to consider. We'll talk about money later. This is how I decided to allow it to flow through me. How can you allow it to flow through you? Just journal on that and let whatever comes out, let it come out. You might be so surprised by what is given to you. You might look at the paper and be like, really? I never thought of that. Of course you didn't. This is not a thinking exercise. It's a feeling exercise. All right, I'm gonna read the statement one more time and then we're gonna get out. I think I hear my adult children up, and I don't know, they might be waiting for me before they open their gifts. Maybe. I don't know. Money is not your supply. No person, place, or condition is your supply. I'm switching to my for your on purpose. Your awareness, understanding, and knowledge of the all providing activity of the divine mind within you is your supply. Your consciousness of this truth is unlimited. Therefore, your supply is unlimited. It's unlimited. Okay? You're welcome. You're welcome. I love this, by the way. And oh, I'll talk about that another day. There's something about being of service to others that really does, um, it really does shift. So if you are in a state, not like a literal state, if you're in a space right now where you're not able to see the outcome of your abundance, you're not able to see the tangible cash, I encourage you to actually go and volunteer somewhere. If right now you're not working, you don't have a job, if it looks really tight, I encourage you to go volunteer somewhere. There's something that shifts when you just volunteer. Okay? Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you for spending time with me today on your Christmas morning. Let me let you go. I swore I'm trying not to be on here long, and here it is, 36 minutes in. Enjoy. I'm not sure. I know there's a tree on my head, right? Did you see my dress, Terry? I don't know if y'all came in. Oh, this is my holiday festive gear for you all there. All right, and I've got tinsel on my underarms stuck here. All right, let me go change into some regular clothes now. Enjoy your holiday. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Shamika. Enjoy your holiday, you all. All right, bye.